It's another beautiful day outside, isn't it, Ryan Wilson from the You Name It podcast?
It's fucking terrific, Jerry.
You're in one of those work moods, but I don't blame you. But I got to tell you, whatever is going on here with all the busyness and everything is not even close to this guy's job. When he was working in a tuna company factory for Bumblebee Tuna.
What are you talking about?
I'm telling you a story that happened this week. There's a lawsuit, I believe. Or it's actually a fine, $1.5 million fine. Because this guy was going into an industrial oven to fix it. And then the workers shoved a whole bunch of cans of tunas in there to sterilize them. And shut the door, cooked them.
Oh, cooked them dead?
Yeah.
Well, then how can he have a lawsuit if he's cooked dead?
Well, his family can.
Oh, that's true.
But they say they can fine this company $1.5 million, but they make $1 billion a year. So I don't see that as being a big, giant deterrent for cooking your employees.
No, I got to believe that they're going to get way more than that, right?
You would think, yeah. You'd think that anybody's going to sign up. How horrible is that? You're just working on the oven, all of a sudden, getting hotter.
Slow and awful.
Yeah, pull that closer to you.
Man, oh man. Slow and awful. Good grief.
We can't get through one show without you with your mic problems.
Nah, I know. I know. Well,
that cheer you up with that story? It's pretty down here right now.
I guess. Better him than me.
I didn't expect that either. I expected you to say, cook me, get me out of here.
Well, they'll be rolling. Hopefully they won't be dicks about it and like fight it or anything like that. I mean, or
no,
prolong it or appeal or.
Yeah, they broke like 1 million OSHA rules too, so they're completely red-handed on that.
Oh, they're going to get set up big time. There was a customer of mine. I don't want to say buddy because we're not buddies, but he was just a regular working Ford stiff. Actually, we don't get along, actually. He's a dick.
Yeah, okay.
But
want to say his name now?
He wouldn't. He's not listening. His wife was hit head on or something like that by an ambulance.
Yeah. And
now she's all fucked up. I mean, like she's got the like her leg doesn't work right, and she's got the limp, and she's a young, pretty girl.
I've met her a real deal, not one of these ambulance chaser deals. She actually did get
right. Oh yeah, I mean she had brain damage. I mean now she's okay, but you can tell she's fucked up. If you look at her, like you think that she's got, I don't know, like cerebral palsy or something like that. You know, but they
could have some neurological shit going on. Yeah.
They got a fucking ton.
What kind of ton?
Millions.
Good. I mean, you take away somebody's whole entire existence, then what are you going to do? You know.
He took his buyout from the car company, and they bought some big, gigantic freaking house in Brighton on their own lake or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's just got money to burn now, but. I've met her a bunch of times. She's, real nice, real pretty girl, man.
Yeah.
And just I don't even know how it happened, but some ambulance head-oned her, and that was fucking it.
Yeah, that would be it.
The ambulance couldn't even help her. It was totaled.
Do you feel bad for any of these companies? Sometimes, like, do you think they're getting a raw deal sometimes when they get these giant settlements?
The people?
No, not the people. Like the company. Say you sue Kmart and.
Well, no, I mean, if it's something legitimate,
$40 million.
Like if it's something legitimate, like they cooked that poor fuck. No, they got to fucking pay. But there's way more frivolous bullshit ones that I don't agree with.
Yeah. Well, there actually isn't as many as you think. I watched this big documentary on HBO about it, and there's far less. But what happens is that the corporations want you to think that there are, so that nobody wants to file a suit against them. Because they had this one called Hot Coffee documentary.
Right.
That whole story about that woman with the coffee spilled in her lap is nothing like what you read in the paper at all. It wasn't just some broad that spilled coffee.
Paper. I haven't read a paper in fucking years.
I'm saying you as the listener.
I mean, wasn't there a big blow up on everyone suing, or I don't know.
No, there's like some really super low percentage of lawsuits that would be considered frivolous that actually get through. In fact, I had a discussion online about this not long ago, and we looked at the stats, and there were so many of them that are turned away.
Discussion online? Who are you talking to online?
I have a group of people that I discuss things
Are you one of
with.
those creepy guys that talk in chat rooms at home?
There's no such thing as a chat room.
Whatever.
No, we have discussions about current events and topics.
Oh
that
my
relate to
God.
everything. What do you think you're doing right now?
I'm gonna
creep?
I'm gonna go into a room and talk about people who talk about people in rooms when I go home.
You probably are, yeah. Your rooms are probably a little different than lawsuit rooms and stuff.
Well, they're clothing optional.
Yeah, there's not that many of them. And here's the kicker. This is why you should never feel bad about this. And someone's probably going to yell at me for this, too, if anybody ever starts listening. They're going to go, you asshole, you just ruined the whole thing. What they do is all these companies, let's just pick one, Ford Motor Company. They get sued all...
Now, you're basing this off of a documentary you saw, right?
And statistics.
Was it by fucking Michael Moore? Because I don't even want to hear about it.
Nope, it wasn't by Michael Moore.
Okay.
And raw data statistics from the U.S. Department of Justice and stuff like that, too.
They should have gave it to that Bumblebee company to cook it, because you don't want anything raw.
Don't start thinking that these corporations are nice guys. So I'll tell you what they do, which makes it even... I worked for years and years with Court TV, and I watched these trials go, and I watched what they'd settle with, and all this kind of stuff. This is what happens. So you have a giant company like Ford Motor Company. They get sued. They got to pay $8 million. You know where that comes from? It comes from a fucking trust fund thing that they set up. They set up a fund that holds $100 million.
Right.
And then each year, that fund makes so much in interest, and then the way they structure their settlements is that a person gets a portion every year. That's why you always see those companies saying, we'll buy out your settlement.
Right.
It's because you're not getting a lump sum settlement. They give them time to pay it. But none of that's coming out of their pocket. It's all coming out of the stock market that they invest that fund in.
Right.
So they're essentially leveraging so they lose no money. Oh, we got a customer. We'll be right back. And we're back.
That's right. I did see. Well, I mean, I do know. Yeah, I heard that because even smaller companies do stuff like that. Like my buddy has a trucking company, and
they have insurance policies.
Well, they have a lump. They have a bunch set aside for like all the tickets and infractions that their drivers get written up for.
Okay, yeah.
Which is often, like whatever, the truck doesn't have a taillight, or they pull over trucks all the time.
Is that how they do it? Like with an investment fund that makes money and they pay it off?
He's got, a couple $100,000 set aside, and because my police buddy says like that's big easy money for them, because trucking fines are like way up there, and they look for whatever fucking thing to get them on. So they have money set aside for that.
Yeah, it works.
But, sure. I mean, I'm not against companies, but they got the money to pay. They should fucking pay.
Yeah, I'm not against companies either, but I'm against them saying shit like we shouldn't have to pay this much money because of. You know what they did with that McDonald's thing, which was far worse. This woman was in the hospital, all kinds of shit, because they just had the fucking coffee was way too hot. It wasn't about her being stupid. It was about them serving shit that could give you third-degree burns in your freaking crotch.
Right.
Because the fucking lid came off or whatever. Anyway, how they came up with their settlement, and she got like, I don't know, $1.5 million or $2 million. That's just, I don't know specifically. Sorry about that. Ryan was afraid to say turn my headphones down.
No, I didn't want to use the non-technical term because you're such a professional.
Yeah, I am a broadcast professional.
I know. I didn't want to say the wrong thing. So I just gave the signal.
That was the signal. It's better than the signal you usually give me. Uh-oh. Ambulance chasers. So we're at the point where the judge says, hey, how much do I award this woman for all the pain and suffering she had? How much coffee is sold in one day at McDonald's? And so he figures out how much the money they make off of coffee for one day, and they gave it to that woman. And then everybody blew up acting like it was such a tremendous amount of money. When it isn't. It's one fucking day of coffee for McDonald's. Coffee alone.
No, yeah, but not from that restaurant. From McDonald's
from
as
the
a whole.
corporation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from the corporation, right.
Yeah, it's the other thing. People think, oh, you're going to put McDonald's. You're not going to put McDonald's out of business.
So, because most McDonald's are franchised. So it comes from the corporation. The poor guy who owned that McDonald's didn't get put out of business.
No, nothing happened to him at all. The corporation took care of it.
Right.
And then they changed their policy across, because it was a corporate policy, though.
Because, news way back when, I remember of lawsuits like this, because then it became a part of our freaking society now, where everything you do is, well, watch out, you don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
Watch out, you don't want to get sued.
It's true.
Every store, way back when I was little, there wasn't like little yellow signs everywhere just because, they cleaned the front of or mopped the front of the store or whatever.
Right.
Now,
Piso Mojado.
everywhere, no matter what they do, they have to have the proper sign out there.
Yep.
So, I remember my mom tells
Somebody
me.
fell down over at the store, I think.
I guess. I just fell. I'm suing myself. Corporation's going to pay me. My mom always says, well, make sure that you shovel the front lawn. You don't want anyone to sue you. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
part of the system now,
We'll be right back again. Sorry, folks.
I love these headphones.
Yep, and I have lost complete track of thought. Lawsuits, we had that. Oh, you were saying that your mom's worried you're going to get
Right.
sued, but you could.
Right.
That happened, but I think that's more of a result that not of the frivolous ones, but what happens is a lawsuit pops up, and homeowners insurance company has to pay because somebody did something really stupid.
Right.
And then they go, you know what? From now on, we're going to require all of our customers to do this. Otherwise, it's going to void the insurance, and they have to pay for whatever happened. And then people hear about that, and that's when all these decisions that, like your mom's saying, are made.
Right.
Because it's not because there was a ton of frivolous suits. It was because there was a couple of them, and it freaked out the money people, and they said, we're not paying anymore. Fuck you. If you don't shovel your snow, we're not going to pay your homeowner's insurance.
Although the beautiful downtown Garden City here will ticket you if you don't. So that's the main reason why I do it.
That's my other bitch about this, because you mentioned tickets a couple of times and how it's revenue for the city.
Oh.
Why does that have to happen?
Man, oh man.
Don't you think it's better off if they take all of the money for crime and they put it to the side and use that to pay for prisons and stuff instead of for running the city? And that way there's no incentive. If they can't use that money to play with,
Right.
and they can only use it for, rehabilitation and all that kind of shit, then wouldn't it be a lot less tickets being handed out?
You don't have to fucking preach to me about this shit.
It's
dumb. I did like that little Facebook thing I saw. There was a thing floating around where there was a picture of a British police car, big square police thing, and then there was a picture of one of our police cars, a fucking Charger, which you couldn't tell was a police car at all.
Oh yeah, hidden because it only has a marking on one side.
There was the little caption under British police car, so you can see it's a police car and flag them down if you need help, and the bad guys can see when they're coming and go away.
Yeah.
American police car, so they can hide on your street and bust you when you're going 6 miles over your speed limit on your side street.
Right. I got pulled over one night coming back from when Walt was out at college. I go out, I had one beer out there because I didn't feel like we were supposed to party it up.
Right.
And I was going to stay out there, but we had one beer. I'm like, forget this. About midnight, I drive back. The cop follows me for miles and then pulls me over. Says, you know why I pulled you over, sir? I actually don't know why you pulled me over. You were going 3 miles over the speed limit. 3 miles over. He didn't pull me over for that. He pulled me over because the time of night it was, and he ran my plate and realized I had a prior when I was 18 years old. So that's they're just out for cash.
Right. Well, when I got, I think I told you all this, when I got the DUI a bunch of years ago, and I had to go to my little classes, they line it all up for you. All right, well, so you got your DUI, so they're going to make about $2,800 to $3,300 off you. The Southeast Michigan last year alone had like 30,000 DUIs. Westland alone had 3,300 in a year.
Yeah, like they make millions per year.
Right. So, because they're giving you all this stuff at the class. And now not every city has this, but fucking Westland has a alcohol task force. And their job, those guys aren't allowed to get called to a domestic violence call.
No, they're just stalking drunks.
They have to get X amount a month to stay on. Now, if you're one of the policemen, you want to be on that because it's way better, way safer, and that's that. So they have to get X amount a month. Oh my God, I felt so. Now we've all had the nights where you shouldn't have driven, and that's no kidding.
Yep. Every one of you out there,
but not that one. And so, yeah, that was quite eye-opening when they explained that to you. Oh, my God.
That's my whole bitch.
Alcohol task force. So that's how you're doing it. So I had this whole thing prepared. I had it all written out. When I went to court, I was gonna give this whole fucking spiel.
You were going to take on the man, were you?
I was going to say, listen, your alcohol task force, I think, is fucking backwards. Because if you really were protecting the citizens with your alcohol task force, wouldn't you be going into the bars at night and giving free PBT tests and then letting them know that you're not allowed to drive home? Because when I got pulled over, I know that there were 3 people fucking fall down drunk in that place where I was having cheese sticks and a beer that drove fucking by me. So you didn't protect anyone, you idiots. You got your money from me, and you went on.
That's all they want. You know what would be nice? Our lives would be a lot better if everybody would just quit fucking us.
Well, yours was a bogus. I got pulled over because I was in my crappy fucking Tracer, and that car is a fucking dog.
Yeah, they just looked at it and said, "There's nobody good in that car."
I turned right out of there. I went about 2.5 blocks, 3 blocks. Now this car takes forever to get going, and I got pulled over because I was going too slow.
Oh, you got the too slow one.
I said, "Do you see the car I'm in? It takes me 6 blocks to get up to 45." And I'm not even fucking joking.
You were the safest drunk driver they saw that night because you weren't speeding.
Where are you coming from? I said, "You saw where I came from. You were parked right there."
Yeah, right.
Were you
That's
drinking?
the other things, camping out.
Oh, my God. And yours was a bogus one, too.
Kind of.
Because of a bogus lane change.
Yeah, that was just the excuse because they followed us out of the bar parking lot. They just wait for some excuse.
Right.
Which I don't even know if it was even legit.
Right.
You changed lanes without your signal. Who knows? I might even use the signal and he's just lying to me because they want the cash.
Right. You were fine.
Well, you were. I was a pro. So
I was a pro back then with you. I was not fine.
No, what I mean is that it was, I had we were going to start drinking, basically.
No, I thought we were coming home. We were going back to my house.
That's why we're going to your house, to start the real drinking.
Oh, after the bar.
Yeah,
right. Yes.
Sit in the bar, have a bunch, drive home, thinking that you're okay in your little city, and there you go.
Right. No, yeah. But you shouldn't have. He should have just taken me just out of principle that I was a fucking
one look
mess.
at you. All right, sir, get back in your car and drive away from this guy because this is hurting your life right now.
I want to try.
Yeah, dummy. He wants to try the breathalyzer. That was helping. That was really helping out my negotiations.
That did not help your cause at all.
There we go. Yeah, but that's a piss off because once you have all of that income from crime, they don't have any real incentive to stop crime. They want more crime so they can make more money.
How long has it been since you got a speeding ticket?
2002 maybe.
Oh, Jesus. Well, they're doing a new thing now here in Michigan.
Yeah.
Do you know about this or are you just saying because you're
I'm saying
okay.
Yeah.
So, let's see. I think it was at the beginning of last year or something like that. I was taking Jordan back to school at night, and I got pulled over for being in the left-hand lane. This is fucking 11:30 at night.
I knew you were going there because I do know about that.
No. I'll tell you some more. So this is like 11:30 on 127 there in Ithaca. There's nobody around. No cars.
Yeah, a highway that goes straight up the middle of the state.
Not one car passed us the whole time I was pulled over.
Right.
You're not allowed to be in the left-hand lane unless you're passing. So I'm fucking around. I think the guy's fucking around. And I go, you didn't see me blow by that squirrel?
Right.
I'm like trying to lighten it up. Maybe he'll think I'm fun. Nope, I got my fucking ticket.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got pulled over for the same thing, but they just gave me a warning. They didn't ticket me.
No, they gave me the fucking ticket. Oh, well, because I was going,
Sir, you're not allowed to drive in the left lane. That's only for passing.
I was going 71 in a 65, so I got a fucking 5 over.
I wasn't speeding at all. They just did it because of that left lane thing.
Nonetheless, so that joke happened, and then a couple weeks later, I get a letter from the state. Now, it was always known around here, in a lot of the cities around here, that if you get a speeding ticket and you go to the court, take the time, you go to the court, okay, Mr. Taylor, you're speeding, guilty, not guilty, or guilty with excuse. And you say, well, guilty with excuse, blah, blah, blah. Okay, bad tail light, same amount of money, but no points.
Right. Pay
so that's how you get out. Well,
we
now
suspend your points unless you get another ticket.
the state's in on this now. Did you know this?
No.
Every time you get a speeding ticket. Now, my mom just got one a month ago. She got the same thing. She called me. My mom. What the fuck is this? So
Yeah.
now the state sends you a letter right after saying, okay, for $100 payable to the state of Michigan,
Yeah.
you can take this online course and you won't get any points.
Yeah, that's right. Lindsay did that.
Yeah. So now they're in on the whole fucking extortion thing to get an extra $100 out of you because no one wants their insurance because insurance bases your rate off double your actual points. That's what I learned in my DUI class.
You're smart.
If you get a 2-point ticket, your insurance will base your rate on 4. That's why when you get a DUI at 6 points, they base it on 12.
Right.
So no one wants
because that's fair,
right?
Not to do the actual value of the crime, but it's more fair that way.
So no one wants their insurance to know. So the state's in on this. Oh, you pay us $100, and we'll forego your points, but you still have to pay the full amount of money for your ticket plus $100 to the state. Take a fucking course, and you save yourself. Oh, what a fucking joke!
Why can't we have crime like we did in the old days? The good old days of crime where you committed a crime, you're punished for that crime, and people tried to have you not commit crimes instead of encouraging you to do more crimes so they can make money.
God.
Quotas.
Right.
What a fucking mess that is. I want you to tell the governor to fuck off right now.
Hey, fuck off, Gov.
There you go. Now we're talking. That's the name of the episode this week.
That's right.
Ryan says, fuck you to the governor of Michigan. See what happens to all of a sudden you got a giant tax bill.
What a joke. What an absolute joke.
It is. I just can't get that out of my head that's just the wrong way to run crime prevention is to turn it into a business. It's so fucking stupid.
Oh, man. So I would have... So my ticket was in Ithaca. So if I wanted to try the 2-point thing, now I had no points on my record. The DUI thing fell off a long time ago. It was the first speeding ticket I had. I mean, Jesus, since almost after I was just married. So I either had to go to Ithaca.
Speeding away from the church?
No, actually, I was speeding to get Paula her contacts.
I wanted to make the joke, Ryan.
So I would have had to drive up there and go to the court. Or pay, fuck it. I just took the 2 points and that was it.
Yeah.
But God, just drives
sometimes
you fucking
it's
crazy.
easier. You just reminded me. I was listening to this. It's a podcast that happened last year on NPR. It was called Serial, and it was a 12-part thing. It's based on a crime that they're trying to solve because they think that the guy who's in jail is innocent. It was a big deal. Like the most downloaded podcast in the history of podcasts was that thing. And at one point, this he's 33 now, but he went in at 17, and he's going, you don't know what it's like to sit in those holding cells when you're waiting to go to court. I know guys that would take a deal just so they didn't have to keep going back to court and wait in those rooms.
No kidding.
And he goes, I'm not kidding you. They would. It's so terrible to sit in a room full of 50 people on a hard metal bench day after day after day that some of these guys just go, fuck it, I'm just going to take a deal.
Right.
That's what they do, and then I found out in that podcast too that they do all kinds of shit psychologically to get these people convicted.
Right.
Everything from like boring the jury on purpose. Like prosecutors will bore the jury on purpose
So they
to
just
get
wanna
them pissed off, so that they just want to be done with it and stuff.
I used, well, I guess it was a few years ago, but I got out of the points because I went to one of Jordan's tennis matches in Westland, of course. And I had to zip back here because it was busy time, and I went to all of her matches. So I'm zipping down some fucking road in Westland to get back here, and I was speeding, and so I got popped.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, I heard I'm doing it. I'm going to court because I'm not getting the points, Mm-hmm. So I remember my mom telling me a story from when she was, her teenage crazy self back in the day.
Yeah, she was driving her horse too fast.
Yeah, she was. She was kicking up too much dust, ma'am. Howdy, kicking up too much dust.
Howdy. Yeah.
So she gets a ticket in her pink and white fucking Thunderbird, and when the cop pulls her over, instead of just being nice, my mom is pissed, and she uses the excuse that she just started her period and she's got to fucking go.
She's going to love this story.
So, she loves this story. It's one of her greatest moments. So he lets her go. Well, so when I went to Westland, I laid the whole story out that I was picking my daughter up from her tennis match. She was in her tennis uniform, and we had to zip to the closest CVS because that thing started.
Oh, Davin's going to love this.
The lady, whatever the hell they call them, typing on the 14 keys that spells out every word in the
That's a
vocabulary.
stenographer.
Yeah, her.
A court reporter.
Oh, my God. She starts laughing. The judge tells me, okay, I get it. Impeding traffic. Just took my money, no points. I got out of there. My mom went with me. She high-fives me.
Yeah.
She says, it works every time.
Yeah. Was that Judge Hammer?
No, that's Garden City.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were in Garden City or not. You said you were, you were in Westland.
This was the same schmucky judge that I had to go in front of for the DUI.
Oh, I just like the fact that we grew up in a city where our judge's name right now is Judge Hammer, and his dad was the judge. He was Judge Hammer. Do you have a better name than that? Roy Bean might be close.
He's been the judge forever, hasn't he?
It was his dad first, and then him. That's why we keep thinking he's there forever, because it's two guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
Wow, I
what a
didn't know
great name for a judge. Judge Hammer.
Wow.
Gonna drop the hammer on you.
Jesus. I know the end of the month, at the end of the street here on the block when you're coming up, don't ever turn right on the red light because they're always across in the bank just getting person after person.
Which one is that? Is that where by the Kmart thing?
Right up here.
Oh, right by the cop shop.
Yeah.
That's what they call it. That's slang these days. Kids say that.
Because it's like it's a non-busy light.
Oh yeah, and it's got
there's
it's got a weird speed limit or something too, or a weird kind of little sign that if you don't notice it, you're in trouble.
Right.
Too.
Well, I mean, and it's not even a full street because it stops.
Yeah.
You can't go. So everyone turns right on that street,
Right.
and they sit across there, and they just get person after person after person.
Yeah, I saw someone get pulled over on the way here. They were getting pulled over in the Kroger parking lot, and this pisses me off too when people get pulled over and they just stop. So he turns right into the driveway to where the light is for all the big Kroger, all the big traffic there, and just stops. Go fucking park.
Right.
Look, they're coming for you.
There
They are. Wow, something's going on. Did the town blow up? We didn't know about it?
I don't know.
Missing all the excitement sitting in here.
Obviously, it's all happening.
You want to shift gears? I have another thing I was going to ask you about.
Okay.
Coming up on HBO, another good documentary. I don't know if it's good or not.
Oh,
about
yeah.
Kurt Cobain. Did you hear about that one?
Yes, I have.
I'm looking forward to that. What are your thoughts on Mr. Cobain?
I heard I liked him. I mean, I like the whole band. I mean, come on. There's not that many bands that blow up that big and change things, all over the place. I mean, they were known everywhere. There's not that many bands, and there's a lot of good bands out there, a lot of good songs, not like that.
Yeah, I don't think they got...
You can like them or not. I mean, a lot of people don't like them, whatever, but you cannot deny the world impact that they had.
Yeah, and I don't think it was one of those cases where they got anything handed to them either. I think they fought their way to the top. And
well, like
stayed there.
Chris Novoselic says, the mainstream didn't come. Nirvana didn't go to the mainstream. They stayed in their little club, and the mainstream came to them.
There you go. Great quote from Chris Jabba blah, blah, blah.
Novoselic.
Okay. I'm looking forward to seeing that thing, although it's made by Courtney and Francis Bean.
Francis Bean.
So I doubt they're going to say things like, yeah, I killed him. But
I can't wait because I thought that I mean anyone that has any kind of depression can associate with him a little bit, you know. But yeah, he had some great lyrical songs, man.
yeah. Oh, he had some other issue too. He had some internal painful condition,
Yeah.
and I can't remember what that was. They say that may have led to the whole I'm going to do heroin all the time to make myself feel better.
I mean, it was a huge heroin area where they were at too.
Oh yeah.
So
There's nothing to do in that town at the time.
they changed things. The whole music scene changed because of them.
Yeah.
You know,
And they're
because
friends, but
there
were
were
the
other grunge
flagship.
bands that were before them. Soundgarden was before them.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, all kinds of alternative bands that Nirvana themselves look up to and go,
Right.
well, these guys are great.
right? But none of those, Mother Love Bone, none of those bands changed the whole freaking world like them.
We live in Detroit now.
I guess.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I can't wait for it. It's going to be good. I like them. I just rewatched their Hall of Fame thing the other night.
Oh, yeah, okay. I thought you were going to say Unplugged. But
No. I've got that on my phone, but their induction.
the good thing about Nirvana at the time was, and people can downplay it as much as they want, but they took a lot of risks lyrically.
Oh yeah,
They spoke about a lot of issues that weren't popular to speak about at the time. And he wasn't doing it. I don't get the impression it was done just to shock people. It was done because that's the way they sat around and thought,
right.
which, I like the real deal.
I thought they were good. I liked them. I still listen to their stuff. Those were some of the first songs I learned how to play on guitar because they're easy. And
All right. So they were an easy band.
well, yeah, I mean, everyone knows he was not a great guitar player.
No,
but,
it was a show. Yeah.
Most of their music came from the drum and bass line, But I liked them. I thought they were good.
Yeah. But many, many good bands played simple things. The Beatles.
Right. Oh, right.
Kiss.
Well,
that is so respected now.
I just
They played
ordered
a bunch of, a bunch of 3-chord songs.
Right.
Tom Petty called himself the 3-chord king.
Right. I just ordered the Sonic Highways, and because I watched them all, and they were really good.
Now that's getting a little more intricate, though. Musically, the Foo Fighters are
I know, but the
working it
one
out a little different.
But
yeah.
they had an episode in Seattle, and started all of went over all of this again, and it was really, really good. He plays like that. I mean, he has a lead guitarist, but him and Pat Schmier are still 3-chord masters. That's what they do. But it was really good, and in the Seattle version, the Seattle episode was really good about Chris. About Kurt. Man.
Yeah, and I read this too about the documentary that Dave Grohl wasn't in it, but he wasn't avoiding it.
Right.
When they were making it, he was doing Sonic Highways.
Right.
So what happened was before they went to Tribeca Film Festival with it, I think that was the one, they arranged a sit-down interview with him, and he completed that. We'll be right back. We have a customer. Did you hear that swish?
So yeah, what I was getting to with the Sonic Highways, but because
Say
I
that
didn't
he
get,
wasn't being a dick for that
Oh,
documentary.
right. That's right.
Yeah, 'cause
I had
people
an
wanted to
unfinished thought too.
Yeah.
The Sonic Highways version, episode of Seattle, when they went big, you didn't see any other band. They were doing the craziest shit. Do you remember the stuff they were doing once Nirvana hit big about the grunge thing? They had grunge kits for school.
Yeah.
Fashion magazines had layouts with the models dressing like the Seattle people. They had
And they looked ridiculous.
They looked ridiculous. They had David Spade was in the phone commercial with that little old lady that was in a million commercials dressed as a grunge person.
Yeah. Where's the beef?
No other band. They just went so big so fast. And honestly, it was amazing that only one of the three of them went crazy after that that explosion. I mean, that's hard to deal with.
That is hilarious. You think about it too. And then they, for the new school year, we have flannel print notebooks for all the kids and stuff.
The boots, it's crazy. But I am excited for that. I am excited for that.
Did you wear grunge clothes in the 90s?
I did not.
You didn't wear like a T-shirt with a flannel shirt over it. Actually, that was funny because that was the 1978 junior high school dress code.
Yeah,
jeans, concert T-shirt with a flannel shirt over it, long sleeve flannel shirt.
Well, I mean, our parties that I was throwing at our house, it went from when we first started doing them, the middle of the hair boom, where all night all you heard was Rat, Motley Crue, Cinderella, all those. Right. And then at the end, I remember the stack of CDs that we were playing for the whole place. The whole stack, it was just Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden,
a bunch
right on down the line.
And a bunch of weird other alternative stuff that snuck in too, because I remember you having like this Toad the Wet Sprocket, and Screaming Trees and stuff like that. And those all showed up too.
Yep. The Pumpkins.
It was the Pumpkins. That was a weird band for me. When I first heard him, I was thoroughly annoyed by his voice, and then it grew on me over the years. I think they're doing a tour again.
Yes, they are. They're headlining, and Marilyn Manson is opening.
Why can't REM come back and do something? That would be great.
They were good. I had all theirs too.
Yeah, I miss REM. Why can't Michael Stipe come back and be political?
Is
there something wrong with him? Am I all off base and like he's got cancer or something?
No. He did the induction last year for Nirvana because he was friends with Kurt Cobain.
Yeah,
and he did a great speech. It was really good. So we had them too. But Alice in Chains, that was the whole stack of music we played in the 91, 92 parties at my house. It was crazy how things went. I remember going to a New Year's Eve party and that my friends took over, the ones that I used to throw, and they're out there playing Teen Spirit. They're all out there fucking jumping around to Teen Spirit at a New Year's Eve party. It was everywhere. It's crazy.
You remember how Pete Falk's bands morphed with the times?
Yep.
Where when I first heard his band, I was a young kid, and he was across the street, and they had a giant bonfire and put a stage up, and he played, and they were doing like Godzilla and all these 70s
from Blue Oyster, right?
Allman Brothers songs and stuff.
Yep.
And then by that time, he's in this band that was Concrete Rattle,
right?
And his lead singer basically like looked at a picture of the Red Hot Chili Peppers and dressed like him, grew his hair down, bicycle shorts.
Yep.
Long hair and a flannel shirt and roll around on the stage.
Well, but before that was
Dave Cole.
Dave Cole,
and they
David Lee Roth
were doing that stuff.
Right.
That band did all of the Van Halen and tried to do a bunch of they probably did Rush and all kinds of stuff. But so he was good choosing bands that were morphing with the times.
Right. In the 80s, I had the. I didn't dress like them, but I had super long hair. I did have a floor length.
I thought you were going to say mullet.
No, I just had big like David Lee Roth hair. I didn't have the mullet thing.
Yeah.
I had a floor length jean duster jacket, like the same kind that Bon Jovi wore in the Living on a Prayer video.
Yeah.
I had one of those. I actually remember going out and buying one and wearing it to the bar on the weekends to watch the bands.
Yeah.
I did not dress like the grunge thing. I didn't do that. I liked all the music. Then once Paula moved in, then we had a huge mix of music.
What did she like? Partridge Family?
No. She was Edie Brickell, Janet Jackson, the Toad, Gin Blossoms.
Isn't Edie Brickell out with Steve Martin right now? Isn't that the?
Oh, I think
band?
so. Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool to see.
I thought they were good. I liked them.
I'd just like to see Steve Martin play in a band and not
He's
be Steve
good.
Martin. He's really good. Yeah,
fucking guy is an awesome player.
But the latest, I was just at the casino.
He played here not too long ago.
Well, I was just at the casino, and he's coming to the up north, in quotes, casino, and it'll be him and Martin Short.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was hoping to read that it would be that band because then I would consider maybe a trip up there to see that.
His band played at Royal Oak Music Theater last year sometime.
Oh, maybe that was them.
And then also...
Are you sure it wasn't the Fillmore? I thought I remember when they came too. No, and I was out of town.
Might have been the Fillmore.
I was out of town, and it wasn't the big club, but it wasn't the small one.
Right.
So.
I'm forgetting his name. He was with Will Ferrell and Step Brothers. John C. Reilly.
Yeah,
he's got a band, and they played the Magic Bag.
Any good?
I didn't go see him.
But I don't know if I'd be able to watch him without laughing. And just look at it. It doesn't matter what he would do. He'd be
Right.
completely serious about his heartfelt song, and I would just look at him like, look how funny that guy is.
Right. There are a few famous people out there that got in the band scene.
Lastly, I don't think you watch it, but Mad Men's coming to an end.
I did watch that
Okay.
here and there. I didn't watch all of it.
This is the last ones are coming up.
I didn't watch all of it, but I did watch some episodes, and it was good.
So if you want to see what life was like when it was beautiful all day long,
A friend of mine
You
from
could watch
California
Mad
got me
Men.
turned on to it, and it was pretty good.
where you could smoke in the doctor's office and
Right.
drink cocktails at lunch every day without anybody looking down on you.
Big Brother hooked now. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, let's stop there before you start telling me shit that happened that I didn't see yet. When's the I was going to say the real one. When's the U.S. one going to start? Because we're watching the Canada one, folks, but the U.S. one should start pretty soon.
June, right?
I hope so, but it should be coming up pretty soon, you'd think.
I think it's June.
Because not everybody gets to see Canada stuff like we can because we're close to Canada.
Right. But that's a good one. That's good. I'm watching that and my other, my other normal shows like Veep and Silicon Valley and whatnot.
Yeah,
Those are
did
so
you,
good.
you don't have Netflix, do you?
We do, but my computer won't play them.
Weird.
Yeah.
They have a
Something's
show called
jacked up with it.
Another Thing for Me to
because
Fix.
me and Jordan both have it, but Jordan watches it all the time.
You got it on your phone if you had to do it that way.
Yeah, that's true.
They have one that's pretty damn funny from Tina Fey. It's called The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and it's one of the girls that was in The Office, the
Right.
U.S. version. I don't know how to describe her. You just have to. As soon as you see her face, you'd know who it was.
Right.
And it's pretty damn hilarious,
Yeah.
just like 30 Rock was. And all
Everything
these
she
things.
does is good, though.
Yeah, it's just like joke, 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 joke.
Everything she does is good. I mean, she's just got that awesome timing, under the breath, sarcastic, not rim shot jokes, but just that. Oh man, she's good.
She produced it.
Yeah.
I'm sure is writing a lot of it.
She's
too.
really good.
But this is pretty funny. It's harsh in times too because they don't have to follow the same kind of protocols NBC would have
Right.
them do.
Right.
And,
Well, that's why those cable ones are so good, man.
Yeah.
Like Girls and Veep and Togetherness and Silicon. Oh God, it's so funny because it's not canned stuff. It's not
No, they're
politically correct language.
They don't have to impress corporate advertisers,
Right.
So they can have real stories
Right.
that are engrossing to people, and you can enjoy the fact that you're watching something that's not formula.
The way that Julie Louis-Dreyfus is
Oh God, she is really funny. In that,
hilarious.
too.
The way they
Veep.
mimic and tease the whole political system is so fucking funny.
I'm shaking your hand and looking at somebody else right now. That's weird.
It's a great show.
It's just making so much fun of
Right.
the idiots that are running
Right.
things.
It is.
I love that. I think I'm behind. I'm gonna have to watch.
You
that.
are. I can't talk about any of my fucking shows
No,
because
I
you're
think
so
I'm
far
only
behind.
one
I can't
behind.
talk about Big Brother Canada. I can't talk about Survivor. I can't talk about nothing because what the fuck you been doing with your time?
I went up north to visit my parents.
You have a life. I don't. I just sit at home and watch my computer shows.
Well, I went up there and we went to the casino and we spent 11 hours in the casino.
Ick.
I got there at 2:30. What do you mean ick? I walked out $150 richer.
Jesus.
But I gambled like a full-blown gambler.
You made minimum wage.
from 2:30. It wasn't 11 hours. From 2:30 in the afternoon until 11 o'clock. Nothing but gambling. No minimum bets. But
Wow.
I just kept winning enough to sustain it.
Right.
My dad kept going, yep, so that's going to keep you in the game. Like I'd hit something. That'll
Right.
keep you in the game. That'll keep you in the game. At one point, I won $650 in like 10 minutes.
Oh,
And,
really? You
yeah.
pissed away 500 of it?
No, I came out 150 ahead.
But you were 600
No,
ahead.
but then you factor in all the hours
Well,
of
right.
gambling too that happened
Right.
even after that. There was a few hours of
You
it.
don't set a limit for yourself. If I
No,
get to
I
this
just
amount, I'm going to stop.
I took after I hit the big mark, I took my initial investment cash
Right,
and
right.
put it away and then gambled on the rest and still walked out with
Right.
with that. That's how you do it, people.
I used to go all the time, and then I stopped once the kids were around and all that. Although we used to go once in a while, me and Paula used to go. It was the freakiest thing. We did not make plans. We never planned it. She would be sitting there on the weekend, and her thing was, "My palm's itchy.
Oh, is that what she'd say?
Let's go."
Which ones you go to? We have
MGM.
three. Yeah, we have three of them in Detroit. Everybody, MGM, Greek Town Casino, and the Motor City
Right.
Casino.
We'd go to MGM, and 3 times that happened,
Yeah.
and 3 times she won.
Oh,
Freaky. I'd just stand around and watch people, give her money, she'd go gamble, and it was just the nuttiest thing. I mean, it'd be like 11 o'clock. We're sitting there in our pajamas watching TV.
Yeah.
My palm's itchy. Let's go. Okay.
yeah. Had to be a Saturday night though.
Yeah.
You couldn't get up for work the next day going
Right.
at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it was Saturday.
Yeah, gambling is fun, everybody, but please don't be a gambling addict. Public, this was the PSA brought to you by the You Name It show.
Yeah, listen, I know. I had a bookie. I had a number. You don't have names, you have numbers.
It's horse season again.
I was
At Hazel Park.
Yep.
We keep saying we're going to go, and we haven't yet.
Oh, I know. I just don't have any money anymore now because of, school.
We should take some microphones and clip them on, some lavalier microphones, and bring the recorder
Yeah.
and do a show at Hazel Park walking around looking at people.
It was fun.
You know that guy with the little arm? Yeah, he'll be there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and the 6 little people, and then the really old guy who looks like he's going to
I
die
did
at
it.
any minute in a wheelchair.
I did it all. I bet all the sports, all the all the big horse races, all the sports. Had a bookie, had a number. I was 16A. Yep, did them
You just
all.
reminded- I don't know why. I just got this giant flashback. I was in a store years ago, and I don't remember what we were doing, but there was a spice rack on the wall, and it was like some guy from Pakistan or something that ran the store. And I'm looking at the spices, and I don't know about spices that much. I look at it and I go, allspice. What's in that? And he goes, it's all the spices.
What the fuck did that come from?
Because you said all of something. I did it all. I bet
yeah,
them
right.
all.
Right.
And it was just killing. And for some reason, that flashed back in my head.
Jesus.
As some guy's trying to explain to me that allspice was all of the spices.
This was like before the internet.
I'm sorry, people.
We used to have bet, I don't know, 8, 10 college games on a Saturday. And my old shop, I had 6 TVs stacked up, all spliced so we could watch 6 different college games at one time.
Why couldn't we live that way again?
Oh, man.
Why do we have to be here now
It was
like this?
so much fun. It was.
I was never a sports bet guy. I bet for 2 seasons. I bet on the Lions, and I think I don't know if I told the people before. I might have told you. I had a system for it, and it was flawless. But I would only invest.
That's what every gambler that loses says, people.
Yeah, but I would only invest like $20 each week, and I would come out with $30 or something because I would bet, on the final. They would normally make the spread because you'd have the whole spread
Cover.
Yeah, they'd get in there and you'd win a couple of dollars, but third quarter they always won. For 2 years, it seemed like every third.
Where were
quarter.
you that you were betting by the quarter?
Well, I was online, Ryan.
Oh, yeah, right.
I was betting
Right.
with a company out of England.
Right.
And then you just say, yes, give me my cash,
Yeah.
and they just funnel it straight to you.
Right. My brother did online betting before.
Yeah.
But no, I was the real call-up guy. And then there was a phone number. I still remember it. 1-800-644-6800. And it would run down all of the college football scores. And I would call like at 1 or 2 in the morning on Saturday to get all my scores. Oh, my God. Yeah, it was fun. Those are good times.
You know who runs that number now? Homeland Security.
Yeah.
That's who's on the other end of that line
Right.
now. Mr. Wilson, you're a prime suspect in a gambling ring.
That's what I had money to burn.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of this week's episode of You Name It. I'm glad that you could stop by and spend this little bit
Don't
of
forget
time.
to share.
Yeah, just share. Let's get out of here.
Share. Be fun. Share.
Share.
Like kindergarten. Show and tell and share.
Yes. Have a good one.
Later, guys.